Hello, Saddle Sore Riders. This is Don Pettinger. I hope this video message finds each of you doing well. The purpose of our video today is to go over the results of the recent membership survey that was sent out last month. We compiled a lot of great results. If you had been at one of the board meetings, I did share the results and give a recap of what the findings are and what I interpret them to mean, and as we develop some plans moving forward to help our club grow. And that was the main purpose of completing this survey, was to find ways that we can continue to expand our club and attract new members. So let's get started right away with this. If we take a look at our first slide, and I apologize if some of them are a little small, it really depends on what type of medium that you're watching this on. But we had 27 respondents, which isn't too bad. It's a pretty good ratio. 25.74% of the people who we sent the survey to returned it. What does that mean? It means the survey is statistically significant, that enough people returned results that it would represent what the entire club is thinking. Another fabulous thing about the survey is it looks as though 13 people had over 10 years, which is 48% of the respondents, and 14 people who responded had less than 10 years in the club. So that means we got a pretty good perspective from the old timers who have been around a long time, like Mike Montgomery, to the newbies who've just showed up or signed up at the membership rides. So we have a great representation here. And if you take a look at the graph, you can see how it splits out. We have 106 members, 35 lifetime, for 141 current members. If you look at the breakdown, we broke it down from 3 to 5 years, 6 to 10, and less than 3, which provides a good look at who we have in the club. The next question we asked everyone was, what are your reasons for becoming a member of Saddle Sore Riders? And this was quite interesting. If we took a look at it, 29%, the largest percentage, wanted to go riding with others, which makes sense. One of the taglines right in the beginning is, we are a pure riding club. Is that enough today to be just a pure riding club? It might have been in 1985 when we started, but today we might need to look a little bit. Those of you who are in the know in education, there's a saying that you need to publish or you perish. And it's no different here with our club or in business. You have to adapt or you die. So we're going to take a look at this and see if we need to adapt or change the way we're doing things so that we can cast a wider net to attract more members. So 29% of our respondents said they want to go riding with other people. 27% said my family and friends are members. 24% said other people that have the same interests that I do. And 16% of the people said they want to learn about horsemanship, which makes sense. We're a horse club, and there could be newbies joining that just got a horse for the first time and they don't feel comfortable going out on a trail ride by themselves. And so that's important to remember as we continue to identify and remold exactly who we are. But great representation of why people join Saddle Sore Riders, and we'll remember that as we move through. The next survey was asking about our general meeting. At our general meetings, we kind of give a full recap of what was going on. We're backwards looking usually at what we did. We give a recap of what the most recent ride was. We talk about what rides are coming up, and it's pretty much a solid format. So we asked, would you be interested in hearing a guest speaker come that would speak for maybe 10 minutes on a special topic? It could be something like a veterinarian, somebody from Vector Control, someone from one of the tack stores, to come and talk about the latest tack or how to use tack. And the great thing was 92% of you said yes, you would like to have a guest speaker. And that would change the meeting up. I know that if we're bringing guest speakers in, we really want to pack out the house and have a full house there for those guest speakers when we come in. And I know the Legion would love us to have more people in our meetings also. The next question was, please select each event or activity you've participated in the last year. So if we take a look at this, the largest selection was other. They've done something other than the selections that we provided for everyone. And the next one was 14% of our respondents had attended a general meeting, which is really good because there you're getting a feel of who we are, of Saddle Sore Riders, and what the heart is and what the culture of our club is. The next was 13% attended tacos at the Legion. You know, if you kind of look at that, that's a great event because you don't just have to have a horse to attend tacos at the Legion. And as we look at our club, you can easily look in a general meeting or in a board meeting. I can count 4 or 5 people that don't even have horses that come for the fellowship and to learn about horsemanship and just because they want to be around other great people. And that's what Saddle Sore Riders is about. So 14% attend a general meeting, 13% attend tacos at the Legion, 7% went on a ride, and 7% participated in Horse Week. And those are some interesting numbers that out of the respondents, only 7% have gone on a ride or 7% have participated in Horse Week. As Horse Week really is a encapsulation of all the amazing things that happen in the city of Norco. Well, I know that many of our members don't live in the city, but they live in surrounding areas. But horsemanship is important, and Horse Week allows us to share that. And also the ride, being that was the reason so many people signed up for, only 7% said they've actually gone on a ride. So those are some interesting numbers to look at. The next was we were trying to get a gauge on what the participation level was of those people who answered the survey. What was unique was 52%, just over half, said they had either chaired an event, which means like you hosted a ride somewhere. You did something like Bunko or the turkey ride. You chaired one of those. That's chairing an event. Or you're a standing chairperson, like the person who does the country store, Rana, who does an outstanding job, Collie, who does the cage, and Pam, who puts together the most amazing newsletter, and Michelle, who does an outstanding job wearing 2 hats. You know, she does the membership and she also does our social media pages, which is great. And Kat Grossman, who has done outstanding, putting up our event signs everywhere. And I apologize if I forgot someone else, but there's a lot of great things out there. And LT, she's one of our standing chair people also who takes care of the outriders and event security. So that is what a standing chairperson is. And that's a 1-year commitment to the club that you oversee that. Or you serve on the board. We have general board memberships as well as the officers of the corporation. So only 48% said, which is a pretty good number, 48% said they've never done any of these things. But we want you to know, we want you to be actively involved. We want you to chair an event. We want you to do a standing chairperson or be on the board. And if you're interested, reach out to someone. We offer on-the-job training. I apologize for the little notifications. I forgot to turn off my reminders before we started filming this, but we're all the way into this and I don't want to go through and do a reset. But 52% of our respondents have actively done something, and about half of them have not. The next question is, do you own a horse? 88% of our members who answered the survey own a horse, and 12% don't. You know, being the Saddle Sore Riders, there's room for everybody in our club. And we want you to share that with your friends and neighbors. They don't have to have a horse. Maybe they're thinking about getting a horse. What better place to come than a general meeting, a board meeting, or a few of our events? And as we look at creating events for this next year, we're going to take the results of this survey to heart and create some things that might be attractive to people who don't have horses so they can learn more about horsemanship and possibly get a horse down the road. But if you take a look here, like I said, 88% of our respondents own a horse and 12% don't. Here was another unique thing. Since a lot of people were interested in horsemanship, we decided to ask, would you be interested in attending a clinic put on by a horseman who is considered a subject matter expert? And we did see that 62% of those responding did say they would be interested in attending a clinic. Now, if we did put on a clinic, this would be something that we would open up to all of the surrounding communities, surrounding clubs and associations. And I'm sure that we could fill this up. And this might be a great outreach to better let people know about Saddle Sore Riders. And 38% said they weren't interested in attending a clinic. And that doesn't mean that they don't want to learn more about horsemanship. It's just they're not interested in attending at this point. And we next asked, who would you be interested in seeing? We put some names out there. Craig Cameron, everybody knows about Craig. He does an outstanding job. 21% said they'd like to have Craig Cameron do a clinic. And then right behind him was Ken McNabb. And 19% of you wanted to see Ken. Then we put that out there in case you don't know who clinicians are who teach horsemanship. 18% of you said maybe somebody other than who you listed, and you could surface those names, percolate them up to us. And then 17% said Carson James. He's a young guy who has a unique way of training horses. We didn't even put Clinton Anderson out there. We didn't think we would be able to afford having him come out to do a clinic. But Ryan Rose was right there with 13%, and Donald Archer at 17%. Ryan Rose is someone who started a YouTube channel, and he's been growing. But this is something we're definitely going to look into, about bringing back a clinic that we could offer citywide and try to get other individuals involved in. So the next question we asked was quite telling. We asked, would you be interested in answering some open-ended questions later on in this survey? And 85% said yes, and 15%, hey, if you're going to provide me with an option, I'll answer. If not, I'll end the ride here. And so what we're going to go on to next is some open-ended questions that we asked and what the responses were. Now, there were a great many responses in all these areas. One of these questions was, what would you like to see us add to the Saddle Sore Riding calendar? We have a calendar planning meeting coming up. If you are interested in joining that, you can go to our website, the Saddle Sore Riders, and find Maylin Motley and send her an email. She is going to be hosting a planning meeting, and we would love for you to come to that. So here are some suggestions that people had about what they'd like to see on our calendar next year. A saddle fitting clinic, evening rides during the summer, some obstacle courses, a day people can bring tack to sell and exchange. That's pretty cool. Now, some of these things that I'm suggesting, the club may have done once or twice or 3 or 4 times in the old days or before, or we just haven't done it in the last few years. A tack swap, an opportunity to bring tack and share it with others. Maybe it's something that we no longer. Someone said they can't think of anything at the moment, which is fully acceptable. Trips to events, non-horse events. You know, we have started doing that, and we saw some great turnout. Last year we hosted Bunko. Had nothing to do with horses. It had to be with having fellowship with each other. It had a good time, and it was a great turnout from everyone. And our Christmas party also usually gets a good turnout. So yes, trips and events that have nothing to do with horses is good, because I think that really does create the bond between people. So great job there. Horse training and horse care classes. There are some great organizations out there that we can bring in to guest speak about horse care. You know, maybe we bring in an excellent farrier as one of our guest speakers, and we go out to his wagon and he shows us some of the things to look for when we're cleaning our horse's hoofs and ways that they trim the horse's feet and what shoes and corrections they have. So these are great things, because you know what? If you think you already know everything about horses, then I've got sad news for you. There's always something more to learn. And I know there are many people out there who have forgotten more about horsemanship than I will ever know. But I always know that no matter who you are and what the topic is, you should always be learning. We moved out of state a few years ago, and this person just said, thank you for including us. A family fun day, like a picnic. That would be something great that we can look at. And you know, as we talked about sharing an event or taking that step a little bit further into the water, this would be something easy for someone to chair or host, setting up a picnic. And we have such great weather here in California, that can be maybe 10 months out of the year that we could do a picnic. Another is like a 2-day horsemanship clinic where Saddle Sore riders could host with other clubs, and you could bring your own horse. That would be something like Ken McNabb does that. He'll have you come out. There are many other good clinicians who come out, and you can bring your horses, and that's how they do the clinic. And they usually keep those small, like 15 people, so they're able to provide great tutelage to each person that's there, or they'll bring somebody with them and go up to 20. But those events will, while we sponsor them, there would be a cost to members to attend something like this. We cover a lot of events already, possibly just a few more group rides. We support you wholeheartedly. There can be multiple group rides going on. We just need individuals who want to do a group ride. How does that work, you may be asking? Well, if there's some place that you're passionate about riding to and you're comfortable with those trails, come to the board. Let a board member know that, hey, you know what? I'd like to host a ride, and we will help you. We'll get you a new rider packet, which talks about where's the ride going to be. Do we need to have an insurance rider there? Get a flyer together to advertise it on all of our social media and at the clubs, and where to meet. And it's that easy. You host it. LT at the moment, who is our security outrider, she will help set that up for that ride, and we can do it. Rides can be anywhere from 1 hour to 4 hours, or even an all day ride. If you're breaking for a picnic or something, we just want to make sure that people are aware of that. And the more rides that we offer at different levels, the more people we will attract. Obstacle course training, that would be a great one. We would just need to find someone that has a very large arena, and we can learn about desensitizing and how to go through obstacles. More camping. Yes, there is a group at the Saddle Sore Riders who really appreciate camping, and maybe we look at someone who can facilitate a couple more camping trips. They don't necessarily be as long as Heart Bar, but could be a quick weekend getaway. Some places close as Prado Park or Joshua Tree. Another person said, sorry, I don't know. Possibly a ride with other clubs, or we host a ride with other clubs that would help expand our brand. Absolutely. There's no reason we can't host an all-city ride where I know our insurance, it wants you to be a member of our club, but maybe if we host a ride, we can look at where we're hosting a ride to other people. So that is an excellent suggestion, and something I think we can talk more about in the planning meeting this next year. More events such as dinners and bunkos, etc. So it is obvious through what they like on the you would like to see on our calendar from this survey is some other non-horse related issues and activities, which we will continue to look at. The next question we asked was, what is something we could do to improve saddle sore riders? Someone said on here, games and challenges that might be interesting to families in the ages of 30 to 40. I agree. We need to look at a younger crowd. The younger our crowd is, that means that we will continue to expand our organization. Next was advertising in the community. Maybe a sponsor some type of event to get new members or build interest in the club. Try to become family friendly. Our membership ride, we try to do that to attract new members. I'm just speaking to your questions here so that those of you who are watching this for the first time can kind of see where we could build on this. But this is a great suggestion. More camping, get families involved with a fun play day. Absolutely, we could do a trip to the beach or something like that with the Saddle Sore Riders and there. Another person suggested, I go to church on Sunday mornings usually at 10 a.m. It's 10 a.m. on Sundays is not a good time for me to attend most meetings. We completely understand that, and we encourage attendance at church. And we do know that there are some churches that offer Saturday evening services or multiple services, but we also are fully aware there are some other churches that only offer one service. Sometimes that's a 9 o'clock, a 10 o'clock service, and it becomes extremely difficult. And we would never tell you that you should miss church to come to a saddle sore meeting. So that is something we can definitely look at as we're planning. And as a board, we can discuss that. Maybe adding 1 or 2 meetings, special general meetings that aren't on a Sunday or on a Sunday afternoon, something of that nature that we can use to attract more people. And if it does grow the attendance, then it is something viable that we can continue to move. Invest in advertising or public news releases. Absolutely. Our team has done a great job of this. Michelle Marshall is really taking the bull by the horns by working on our Facebook page and our website. She's put a lot of pictures there that Stephanie Gwynn has given her over the years. And that is something she's going to continue to build on and has a passion for. And I truly believe this is the key to moving the club forward. And also with Pam Whitten's news letter, that is a great tool. It gets emailed to us. It's also posted on our website that we can share this with other people. Don't hesitate to share the link to our Facebook page and our website to other friends that are interested in equine or anything to do with horses. So that is a great suggestion. Have rides that focus on different riding abilities. Make the meetings more interesting and stop all the side conversations. We hear you. And that is something that we really need to address and work on. I call it going down rabbit holes. So we're really going to try to focus on keeping meetings going down the right way. You can get there early and socialize, and you can stay afterwards, but we want to keep meetings on task so that we get all the questions answered. And I know that some of you who have reached out to us, that sometimes you can't hear and you don't want to be mean and ask somebody to be quiet, but we do need to work on that. You're absolutely right, at meetings, staying focused, no side conversations, and continue to keep the meetings interested. Here's the next one. You need to find a way to bring young people in. All of us old timers have moved or are moving. Yes, we've seen quite a few of our members from Saddle Sore Riders move outside the state of California. This may go over as bad, but always having meetings on Sunday prevents church going families from getting really involved. We missed a number of meetings because of church. We hear you, and that is why we will look at possibly an alternative. I know this might sit hard for our old timers, but as we looked at our survey, 50% and 50%, really old timers over 10 years, 50 young. There is a saying in business, you adapt or you die. And that is what we're trying to do through this survey. We're trying to adapt and make changes. And I'll talk about some organizations who have adapted or they would have died as we wrap up here. The next thing is, I think the survey is a great first step. I like what we've heard at the last few meetings about looking for ways for the club to grow. That was some positive energy that I think we've been lacking for some time. It seems like we want to blame everything on COVID for lack of members. I've been around for a long time, over 10 years. This is the first time I've heard us actually want to address the issues facing the club. The thing that will kill us is we've always done it that way. We agree with you. We agree that we always need to be looking. And you know what? Change is one of the hardest things to go through. And you always need to be changing or you're dying. So we thank you. That's a great comment. And then the last page of comments was back to the basics. We've enjoyed guest speakers. We've enjoyed camaraderie. We have always enjoyed rides, fun, dress up, food, drinks, games. Every club has fallen in membership due to COVID. Most people belong to more than one club. I agree. I'm part of Horsemen's Association, and I'm part of a number of other clubs, but we try to work together. And these are some good suggestions. I do hear a lot of people talking about COVID being the reason that our membership is down, and that's why we're doing this survey, so that we can address that and find avenues of following so that we can grow the club. And this is a very proactive thing that the board is doing, putting together this survey. Be more responsive to new members. It took 18 months for us to receive our new member packet and more than 9 months to receive the newsletter. We are volunteers, and I appreciate that. We need to know that sometimes we're not completing the circle. When you sign up, we're not getting that information to you. I've been a member of other organizations also, and I know that feeling that you step in, you get your membership fee paid for, and you kind of disappear to them. That is something that we will work on and try to create some checks and balances between our different volunteers to try to make sure we fix that in the future. I think the club does do so much with our community in mind. We just need to keep it up. We do. We work extremely hard at PRC Rodeo, doing the parking, at Horse Week, all the different things like Quarter Dip and Adult Fun Week. I know that we really try seniors and pets, but we need to continue to make the public aware of those things that we're doing. The best thing we could do for this club, which is very difficult, is our participation try and get younger people in there that have the same interests. Yes, as we know, in every surrounding city, we see people moving out of state, and some of the people that are moving in aren't necessarily interested in equine, or do they know anything about equine, and they're just trying to get larger lots so they can do different types of things. Our goal as a club, that this survey is showing, that we need to show how you can become involved in equine type sports and get involved there. The next one is get the club board members to participate in more community events, not just Saddle Sore or parking for other events. There is a huge need for more volunteers in our town that do not require riding. Horse Week, fair, etc. Get our name out there as good ambassadors for the club. We try, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. I just think we need to do a better job of branding what we do in the community. And with Michelle Marshall's new focus on our Facebook page and our website, I think you're going to see that. She has done an outstanding job of really increasing our brand awareness in the community this last year, and I think that's going to continue to grow. And the way we can make it grow even more is by more volunteers. If you looked at that chart at the beginning, over 50% of the people who completed this survey haven't chaired anything as far as an event, a standing chairperson, or a board member. We need volunteers to help the club grow. Try to volunteer for just one thing. If every person did that and we had 100 people, just think of all the obstacles we could overcome in this first year, and we could potentially grow the size of the club by double digits, which would be an outstanding and a very attainable goal. Slow group, faster group, that is something we talked about at the last general meeting. Really better identifying our rides and who they are focused on. Are they a long ride, a short ride? Is it more intense? Do you need more technical skills? Are there water crossings? Are there freeway passings and things like that? So we are really going to try to ensure that our rides focus on all of our different abilities at Saddle Sore, and that way we can grow. And if we have a beginner ride, maybe then you can advertise to a neighbor who just bought a horse, hey, we're having a beginner ride, and the goal of all the members that are there are to help our beginners that show up. Not sure, seems pretty good. I don't go to meetings, so I don't know. Laugh out loud. You have to appreciate the honesty. This person doesn't go to meetings, and that's good. More members and more rides. Amen, hallelujah. We absolutely need more members and more rides. Oh, there was one more page here. I already had this page. So more members, more rights. I apologize. So anyway, that is a recap of the survey that has been presented to the board, all the standing chair people that were there, and any guests that were at the last two board meetings ago. And we felt it was important to get it onto our YouTube channel, which you are watching. And this is the first thing that we are posting. We're going to hope to use this a little bit more along with our FaceTime and FaceTime and our Facebook and our, I'm having a little bit of a brain fart there, and our website to be able to get information out about who we are, being able to message to the community. You know, earlier we talked about you have to adapt or die. It says if it ain't broke, you need to break it. When you're finished changing, you're finished. Let me tell you about a couple of companies who changed completely how they did business, and they're extremely successful today. Some of you may not know it or not, but Netflix, they were just one of those red boxes that you would go and rent a DVD in front of 7-Eleven, return it the next day. Well, where are DVDs today? They are basically gone. They knew they needed to adapt their business and change it. And so now they are a major motion picture company that produces movies, and the DVD business is just a thing in their past, a building step that helped them build. And at Saddle Sore Riders, we need to understand what our heritage was and never forget it because it's so important. But that can be part of our oral traditions. We continue to share when we had mega rides and how we've continued to adapt and change. Look at Lego. Lego was just little wooden blocks, and they went on to the plastic snaps. They've gotten even bigger. It's almost become cult-like. We have Legolands, so they have adapted and changed and have really grown. And how many of you really remember Amazon? You've got those Prime boxes being delivered to your house maybe once a week. Do you know that when Amazon started, it was just a book club where you signed up to get a book? That's what Jeff Bezos started it as, out of his garage in Seattle, that people went online for books, your little Kindle readers. But he realized that you needed to grow and provided other avenues, that his book club was only a small portion of what his organization could be. Now we need to look at these same types of things for Saddle Sore Riders. What can we do since the pie has shrunk a little bit with horse people moving out of state? What can we do to continue to keep our club relative and an active part of the community? And the way we're going to do that is to continue to expand. And you know how we're going to do it? We need your help. I hope this survey has done a great job of sharing with you some of our other members' thoughts. And we are going to continue to use this survey through upcoming board meetings and upcoming general meetings to craft things so that we can continue to grow. After about 3 months and we've put some of these changes into place, we will be reaching out to you again with another survey. So start thinking of ways that you think are outside the box that will help us grow. I know I've been talking to you for about 30 minutes, and those of you who have stuck with me from the very beginning to the end, I greatly appreciate it. I know that Saddle Sore Riders can be around for another 30, 40 years, but we just need to adapt and continue to grow our club while not forgetting the important heritage that it was grown on. And we can only do that with your help and with new members. So come by a meeting, come by an event. If you see me, come on up and talk to me. I'd love to visit with you. Again, my name's Don Pettinger. I'm with Saddle Sore Riders. Visit our website or visit our Facebook page and get more information about our club. And I hope this survey was important to you and that you enjoyed the results as much as we did. Thanks so much. I'll see you again real soon here on our YouTube channel with another video.
On the desert sand tonight, following the stars.